What's up, fam? Today we're going to talk about the cost of starting a business. I'm Scott from the 5-Day Startup. You can follow me at @BalanceScott on Instagram. So today I really want to cover what it takes to start a business. This is kind of the number one question I get asked across all industries. What we're going to cover is mostly around e-commerce and Amazon. But first I want to cover kind of different ways to start businesses, different offerings. So if you guys watching my older videos, cover different types of service businesses, arbitrage, drop shipping, things like that. So I'm gonna touch base on that really quickly. So you guys can start a business with no money down, but the biggest investment is gonna be your time. So a service industry, you can do website development, any kind of consulting, things like that, that really cost no money to start. But the issue is it's a lot of time. So time is worth money. So you're gonna be putting money into the business, it's just you don't actually need capital. And then there's other types of business like drop shipping. So drop shipping, you don't need any capital to start, and you can actually take products from one place and sell them on another, and that will lead you to lower margins, but you can actually use a model of drop shipping to launch a business. And I'm gonna tell you a quick story about how I launched a business that makes me about $30,000 a year from zero. And what I did was I took a single product and I started drop shipping it, and I had a goal. I drop shipped it till I hit $1,000, and then at that $1,000 point, I actually purchased similar inventory but my own design from Alibaba from Asia and had it shipped over. So at that point I had the $1,000. It took about 2 months to manufacture, and then at that point I had enough to actually pay for the next 1,000 of shipping. So the whole inventory was covered from drop shipping. And then from there I started a business, and now it has multiple SKUs. It's a smaller business for me, but it came from no money down and a simple model of drop shipping. So it is possible to start a business with no money, but first of all, it takes much longer. And second of all, it may never grow to a giant company because money makes money in a certain sense where I can go buy a better product now that I have capital, things like that. So we're gonna go into kind of the standard way to start an Amazon e-commerce business, which would be wholesale, private label, white label. And we're really gonna cover private labeling, where it's your product, your business, things like that. So we're gonna jump in. I'm gonna go ahead and screen share here. What's going on here is I put together a very basic calculator on what it costs to start a business. So if you stay tuned to the next video, we're gonna do a deep profit calculation before we really get into product research. That way you understand what you're looking for. But I wanted to kind of do a high level for people that are not sure if they're interested, don't know if they have the capital, or just kind of interested in general. So these numbers are a little bit more of estimates, high level. I'm not going into a lot of detail. I'm not explaining everything here. So if you want the nitty gritty, stay tuned to the next video. We're gonna go ahead and get started. So I'm just gonna go through this Excel spreadsheet, and I'll go ahead and share a link down in the bio for you guys so you can use this. The first thing is the manufacturing unit cost. So what that means is just what are you able to buy the product at? So we're gonna use an example of water bottles here. And I think the water bottles run anywhere from $1 to $5, depending on the quantity. I'm sure you can get them cheaper, but that's kind of what we're gonna use as a model. So if you wanna go buy 1,000 water bottles, probably gonna go to Asia, and you're gonna get a cost of $2 a water bottle. So that's what we're talking about here, and it's still in Asia. We haven't paid for shipping, we haven't paid for customs or anything. It's $2 cost of goods manufactured. That's here. Total units, so you need a certain amount of units to cover sales over 2 to 3 months, depending on your lead time. Could be 4 months if it's a custom product. And that, again, we're gonna go into later, but you just need to know that, like, if you're buying 500, you're gonna assume that you're gonna sell 500 in 2 to 3 months. And that's kind of your goal and the expectation. So your freight cost, guys, we use a company called Freightos. It's awesome. If you click this link, it is a referral link, so you get a discount and I get a little bit of kickback, appreciate it. But what it is it actually helps you estimate your freight. It's an open market, so basically once you put in all your information, they'll find you the cheapest way to get it there, or the fastest, depending on what you want. So it gives you a whole bunch of options. We'll go into that a little bit more in this video. Duties, this is just a link to a duties calculator. It's pretty simple. I'm just gonna leave the links in the bio too, in case you guys don't wanna open this and download it, that's fine. Other costs, so when we go deeper into the next level of the profit calculations, we're gonna cover other costs in much more detail. So part of that is marketing, giveaways, and issues. Guys, there are always issues. I've never had a shipment without some kind of small issue, whether it's a surprise $20 or it's a surprise $2,000. I've had both. So that's something you have to be aware of and just be prepared for and budget in. So right here, I put in a 30% calculation of cost of goods. And that should cover you for any major issues. If it's more than that, you're gonna have some issues probably. But just be aware that needs to be built into your model. That could also cover returns. There's so many different ways where you're gonna have unexpected costs, especially your first time going around. I always recommend building these calculators based off of what you've learned. So take what I give you and then add your own information to make them better and more accurate based on how you do business. So photos can cost you anywhere from $100 to $1,000. Pretty good photos and graphics will be around $400. I spend around anywhere from $200 to $500 on mine. Guys, again, there's always this miscellaneous kind of unknown things. Usually for me, that's just marketing. If I need someone to do copyright, or I need someone to do product research, or I need someone to do different things like that, or keyword research for me. Sometimes I'll put together a giant list of keywords and I'll pay someone to go rank them for me. Again, we'll cover that later. If you're new to business, your entity, you do not need your entity right away. I believe the point where you actually need one is about $10,000. If you're spending a whole bunch of money on inventory and a lot of time on this, yes, go get your entity, go file, get everything done properly, get all your ducks in a row. If this is about $1,000 investment, maybe you're just buying some trinkets and you want to play around, you don't need it. Don't waste your time. Use your social security number or your private banking. It really isn't going to be an issue, and it's pretty easy to file under your regular taxes. Amazon selling account. I wasn't going to put this in, but just so you guys are aware, there is a charge to sell on Amazon, $39.99. If you're not making $39.99 a profit, to cover that, you should probably stop running your business. It's usually not calculated, but we'll go ahead and throw it in so you're aware of it. And then Helium 10 is a service that I use. Again, this is going to be affiliate link. Here's some coupon codes for them. So what they do is they're for the product research, the tracking, the product launch. It's a super helpful tool. We're going to go into it a lot more, and I'll do a quick demonstration as we're kind of filling out this form. And then here's your total cost. That's going to be what it costs to start. And then you guys have to think about reorders. So ideally, if you do all your calculations right, your reorders are paid for with profits from this order. So at about 25 to 50%, you should have sold. You should have enough money to place your next order. First orders are a little tricky. Sometimes if you don't buy the right amount of inventory, you have to place an order really quickly, and then you'll need some extra cash. So you could calculate an extra 25%. I'm not gonna throw that in here, but that is something else to be aware of, is sometimes you do have to order that within 2 to 3 weeks to restock your inventory. And so that's super important to understand, because otherwise you're gonna run out of inventory and you're gonna have to re-rank yourself. So now we're gonna go into our example. So here we're talking about water bottles. So I'm just gonna go to Amazon. I love water bottles. I think they're the coolest product. This is a really cool water bottle. I have something similar, not this one. I don't know where it is, but guys, this is a super competitive niche. This isn't an example of what you should go into. Look at the number of reviews. It'd be very hard and very expensive to compete here, but I just wanna use it as an example. And that being said, there's always ways to compete everywhere, but we're just gonna go in, I'm gonna use this one. So if you see these numbers here, these are populated by Helium 10. So that's a service that I use to help me understand how quickly products are selling, the revenue, things like that, the reviews. This is its ranking per category. So this is a very popular water bottle. It's number 5 out of all water bottles being sold. And then it's 19 in sports and outdoors. So it's just a very popular item. So we're gonna go ahead and click in here. So you can see there's a lot of SKUs here, different colors. Cool water bottle. So it's loading. Here's our Helium 10 plugin. They actually have a free version, so you guys can see a lot of this for free. You can see its sales. So here's its sales over the last couple of years. And then a service that I really like is X-Ray. You can actually see what it's making per month. It's loading, and it's gonna have different SKUs here. You have to be careful with the revenue for different SKUs. And again, I'm gonna go into a lot of this in detail. But right here, you can see revenue numbers. So it says they're making 16 million. That's a very high number. So what I think happens is a lot of times when it's multiple SKUs, the sales rank for the entire SKU gets caught up and then multiplied times. So let's actually say it's close to $366,000 a month, which makes pretty good sense. Okay, so like I said, if you see here that the sales rank or the sales is the same for a whole bunch of products, it means that it's adding all the SKUs together, and you can even see a warning down here. The history might not be right, so I just take the average, and this number is gonna be pretty accurate, and this only happens with variances. This tool is super accurate. It just has a little trouble. Amazon doesn't give you the full data, so they can't necessarily scrape all the best data on this one. But again, this is gonna be a very accurate number. I bet you they're making very close to 366,000. So that's what we got from this product. So really good product. If you could compete in here, lots of money to be made. So now let's go find out how to source it. For you guys that are just getting started, you're probably gonna start on Alibaba. Alibaba is basically where all the manufacturers, it's like Amazon of manufacturers. So everyone just posts their products and you can get them all custom made, custom designed, things like that, or just pre-ordered. So I went ahead and I search double wall stainless steel water bottles, and right here is a very similar product. It's got multiple lids. It looks like a cool product. I would buy this product. Guarantee you can put your logo on it. It says minimum order is 1,000 pieces, and the cost is anywhere from $2.50 to $5. So all of this is negotiable. Later on, we're gonna show you some templates on how to talk to manufacturers overseas, ways to negotiate, things like that. So all we want here is kind of our estimate. For this one, we're gonna go ahead and we're just gonna say it's $4. I'm gonna put somewhere, so you guys can probably get the lowest cost, if not even lower. I usually pay somewhere around a little bit higher than this. The reason why is I make sure that I'm making a good relationship with the manufacturer and I'm getting good quality. And I explain to them that the quality is super important to me. That's my number one concern over cost. And I just build that into my brand as I wanna be the best quality. And that's how a lot of these companies are here, is you see all those positive reviews. It's because they're making sure their product is high quality. So let's go ahead. Did I say $4? We're gonna put it in as 4. And then total units, the way I would calculate that is from helium 10. So I'm not gonna really do that right now. We're gonna say it's 500. This is a super competitive product, so it's much higher than 500. You can see that they're selling almost 1,800 units per month, and you need a lead time of at least 2 months with a product like this. So that's under 40,000, but that's a lot of units, guys. That's super competitive. You need a lot of money to go into that. So we're just gonna pretend it's not that competitive, and we're gonna say 500 units per month. And then freight, we're not gonna go in and exactly calculate it, but again, if you guys wanna see all the details later on, watch the next video. I'll go into way more detail. I just wanna keep this high level. But you can see on Helium 10, they do have their own profit calculator, and it actually tells you the dimensions and the weight, and you can talk to the suppliers on Alibaba and get more details. But just to start, I would use this information and then come over, if you click here, you'll go straight to Freightos, and then you can actually fill this in and calculate your shipment. And then if you're going directly to Amazon, they actually have a direct to Amazon option. Costs the same, but what it does is they have special labeling and things that they help you make sure your product gets there correctly. And then you can just put the dimensions, the weights, total number of units, and then it'll go calculate it out for you. I found that most shipments that are around 500 units of something this size is gonna be probably around $1,000. And then same with duties. I'm not even gonna go into too much details with this. You just need to go in and fill out this information and then search for the product, and it'll give you an estimate. Again, for this one, I'm gonna guess it's around 120. But these tools will give you very accurate numbers, so you don't have to take a guess. I've been doing this for a while, so I have a good estimate of what it is. For this round, I would just be quick and I'd guess, and then I'd go through and review everything in my more detailed calculator. So again, other costs, we're doing about 30% of cost of goods. And that might seem high to you guys, but especially first time around, this is just cash that you wanna have available in case something goes wrong. So it's super important to do that and to be ready for anything. All right guys, so we've covered photos, miscellaneous, entity, Amazon selling account, and Helium 10. So that's really your cost to start a business. So here it is, $5,000 would be at 500 units for 2 to 3 months if that's how we're calculating it. So that's basically what it is. And again, people ask all the time what it costs to start a business, and there's no simple answer. This will get you really close, but there's so much more to go into it. And if you guys are really interested in learning more, stay tuned to the next video. We're gonna do a full profit calculation. It's gonna be very in-depth. It's probably gonna be a 40, 45 minute video where we're gonna go step by step. We're gonna use every tool, and we're gonna teach you how to do all of that in more detail. But if you guys are just getting started, go ahead and check out Helium 10. They do have the free service. You can kind of come on here, and even if you just wanna be an informed Amazon shopper, it's really cool to see. You can get really good details about the products. So it's kind of like, is this product actually popular? Why is it popular? You can kind of dive into the reviews. There's some really cool tools here. Thanks guys. If you have any questions, as always, reach out at the 5-Day Startup or follow me at FoundScott on Instagram. I do respond to all of the DMs personally, so I'll make sure to get back to you guys. I appreciate everything. Till next time. Thanks so much for watching my video, guys. Really appreciate it. Please make sure to subscribe. Should be right down there or there. Watch my next video and my playlist right there for me and Moses. Thanks so much. Have a great day.